Good morning. So, on this beautiful Monday morning, who is ready to dive into the fun world of AI today? Andrea, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. So, here's the thing, we're going to talk about bringing the property to market, but the most important thing from my perspective is that you start to really understand how to leverage AI. So, here's some interesting statistics. Out of the United States adult population, 20 years and older, only 23% of adults have used ChatGPT once, right? That means 77% of people have not used it. Out of that 23%, only 8%, 92% have not done more than one prompt. That's absolutely crazy. Because the reality is, if you're not multi-prompting, you're never going to get what you want, right? So when we talk about launching the property to market, we are going to go through how to build all of your marketing through AI. So if anyone has right now, does anyone have a vacant listing? Anybody? All right, Kristen Johnson, send me send me a JPEG to Chirag at ChiragShahCoaching.com of an empty picture right now, and I'm going to show you guys how to virtually stage a home later. Cool? So has anyone used AI for their property marketing and been happy with it? Just unmute yourself real quick.
Yes.
All right, so let's share your experience.
It makes quick work of drafting the blurb.
And what do you do for prompts?
So it depends. So I have a condo, it's a vacant condo that's in a rather posh um, community, condo community. And I took a previous listing description and I said, like, utilize the amenities description and lifestyle description, but with these differences in the unit type, meaning it's a a 4-story with an elevator, this unit, and gorgeous hardwood floors. So I used it to do that. And rather than it take me 45 minutes on my own, it took me about 8 or 10 minutes with the help of ChatGPT.
All right, so here's my question, right? We have a good idea of all the steps of bringing the property to market, right? And so everyone seems to have a real appetite for this subject. Would you all prefer that I just upload the deck that has all the steps in it, which are pretty clear, and I could talk you through them? And would you guys like to spend the entire session just working through AI? Is that what everyone wants? Is there anyone that insists on going through the actual presentation and the steps of launching a property on the market? Anybody? Speak now or forever hold your peace. You guys all want to go into the weeds today with AI? Perfect. All right, give me a second. I'm going to open up my chat. And we're going to walk through every different thing that you could think of in doing an AI. So here's some ChatGPT basics, right? Input, output, right? Input is what you put into it. Output is what you get, right? So when thinking through this, you need to understand that your output is only as good as what you put in it. So if you have things in there that are like, just write me a listing description. No, you have to train it, right? So think of it instead of as just like AI, think of it as a conversational partner, right? If you don't like what it does, you have to say, this is bad. I don't like what you did. Make sense? Most of the reason that this is not working for people is that they're doing it too generically. Now, remember what we talk about great marketing, right? Every buyer wants 2 to 4 different experiences that they can get from a home. Now, if you're not highlighting those experiences and you're just selling static bedrooms and bathrooms, you're going to run into an issue. Hold on one second. My internet seems to be cutting out. Am I coming through clearly to everybody, or is it pausing?
Pausing.
All right, hold on. Mine's pausing too. I'm sorry about that. All right, is that better? Nope. Can you all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, that seems better, right? No delay. All right, perfect. So think about input output, right? It's your prompts and everything you do is only going to be as good as what you put into it, and that's what you're going to get out of it. Now, the second thing to realize is the first output is the worst output. I don't ever even read the first output. So you're going to give it a clear task, right? I want you to write me a property description for 123 Main Street. It's going to give you something, right? I wouldn't pay attention to it. And then here's the key. The next thing that you're going to write is ask me questions one by one so you can have a thorough understanding of who the ideal buyer is for the home, the best benefits of the home, the experience of the home, the community of the home, and the things that you think will really drive people to this property, and then revise the description. You'll be shocked because what you want to realize is, all right, it does what it thinks is best, right? Then the next step from there is it refines it. Now you're giving it more knowledge to base this off of. Then you can start getting creative and saying, make this like the Apple product launch. You in one prompt could see how Apple, Google, Tesla, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Disney, Netflix would launch that property because it can mirror all those brand launches. Guys, I have to apologize in advance. For some reason, my entire computer today is just not working. I cannot open an internet window. Let me see.
Hey, Chirag.
Yep.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little something that I think is a good way for me to think of it, and it might help others as well. So I used to represent screenwriters for film and TV, and so when we got our writers hired for a writing assignment at one of the studios or one of the networks, the contract paid the writer for a draft, a set, and a polish. Draft, a set, and a polish. And so the draft was just kind of like the first thing they got, off the keyboard and printed out. And then, did I say set? I meant draft, revision, and a polish. So then first was a draft, and then they'd have to go back and take that draft and go through a revision and really kind of tighten it up and adjust it according to notes that the network or the studio implemented. And then finally was the polish, and that was like really, polishing it up, like getting it really ready for showtime. So I think you can think of the same way with ChatGPT. I mean, the other day when I wrote a description, for a property that I have in Brentwood, I basically used the Compass AI tool. Boom, push the button. There was my draft. Then I took that draft and I put it into ChatGPT, and I said, rewrite. And what did I say? Rewrite this as if you are an editor for as if you're on the team at a luxury hotel. And so then that came out and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then I said, okay, the polish was make it a little bit more casual. And then once that spit out, then I went through it and did my own polish and made it kind of a little bit more me. And it really turned out quite well. So I think that's kind of an easy way to think of it is, 3 different shots at it.
All right, so let's start going into live demos. For those of you who wanted the deck, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record it. It'll take 15 minutes and I'll just upload the video as well, just so everyone has a polished thing. This is, in my opinion, this is the most important thing to learn how to do, right? So someone drop a property link in here. First one gets their listing done. And thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
You always have something interesting to add. All right, so who has the property? No one has a listing here? I need a link to the listing. Perfect. All right, let me share my screen. Now watch this. Okay, so I'm going to take her link. I'm going to put it in here. This works for the private exclusive, by the way, or you can just upload photos. So need you to learn everything about this listing, the surrounding areas, the community, and whatever you think would be interesting to a buyer who would purchase this. So this is going wide, right? So this will give us an idea of what they think, right? So now it's going through all these different websites and property size, bedrooms, bathrooms, listing date. This is all the generic stuff. Interior features. Notice I don't even care what this says. Recent upgrades. No one cares. Outdoor features. Schools. Now look at this. It even gave us comparable homes. Don't know if those are accurate or not, but they seem close. Community highlights, right? We could schedule a show. Okay. Now ask me questions one by one on what are the benefits of this home, the unique experiences someone can have here. Now, here's the important part, so that you can help create all the marketing for this home. Kristen, unmute yourself.
Yes.
When you walk into the home, what is the first feeling or impression you want the buyer to have? Or what they have, not what you want them to have.
So I want them to feel like they just walked into their new home. I want them to feel warm and excited.
All right, so what does, or let me rephrase this. What
Okay.
feeling does somebody get when they walk in this home today?
Excitement?
They feel excitement when they go there?
I hope so.
All right, let's take one step back.
Okay.
Let's move our own personal views, right? So
Okay.
when you walk into this home, you feel open space and expansive
Yeah.
rooms,
Okay. I got you.
sun-drenched.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you walk into this home, it's going to be really bright and airy, tons of natural light, um, beautiful natural hardwood floors that have been restored. Um, it's a very open space. So although it's an older home, it does still give you an open layout feel.
You notice how I
Yeah.
changed this? Don't write about like features, right? Like beautiful hardwood floors, right? Because think about it, when somebody comes into a house, right? and you see open space, sunlight, and everything like that, it's bright and airy, tons of natural light and open space to create your own flow, right? Remember, we want to, like, the most important part about this is selling the destination, not the flight and features. As agents, we're feature sellers all day long. Like, no one cares that they have an expansive master bath with da 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 da. No, like what people care about is at the end of a long day, walk into your in-home spa. Have a bubble bath with a beautiful picture window that outlooks the forest that makes you feel like you're on vacation. That's what people want, right? What type of buyers do you see falling in love? Growing family, creative professional, multi-generation, someone who loves to entertain? Which one?
I'd say a young or growing family.
See, my chat GBT's trained on my stuff. What are some experiences a younger growing family could enjoy in this home that they couldn't easily have elsewhere? That's a good one.
That is a good one. My immediate thought would be both the front and backyard are really expansive. So if we're talking a young family, it's plenty of yard and outdoor space for them.
Expansive for their family to enjoy. Ready? Play, activities, gatherings, barbecues, sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inside the home, what successive faces or feature make daily life easier, more enjoyable for a young family?
Mm, Probably the eating, kitchen, and dining area is what I would say.
Eating kitchen in an open space serves as a hub for all daily living. Do you see how I'm editing this a little bit in terms of,
Hmm.
like, I'm getting myself out of this? It's like I'm a real estate agent. What makes this location unique, a smart or special choice for a buyer?
Super convenient to all of the happening things in Atlanta. Super convenient to sporting venues, convenient to public transportation, local parks, trails, all sorts of things.
Remember, don't ever use the word everything. Everything means nothing. Right? In great marketing, we want to program people to think the way we want them to think, and we want them to focus on what we want them to focus on. What's something about this home people might miss if they only viewed it online or quickly in person? They got some good questions today. A
Oh
hidden gem that you
no.
think deserves more attention.
I would say the back bedroom that could serve as a home office would be because of the way the layout is, it's easy to miss that bedroom. And it's kind of off of the kitchen. So that would be what comes to mind.
This a ranch, right?
Yes, it is a ranch.
If someone were on the fence between this home and other, what would be the reason that this is a better choice?
You get a whole lot of house for the money. So 5 bedrooms is not something that is easily that you come by easily in this price point and in this area. So it's a lot of bang for your buck.
All right, we want to take away, I'm going to push you further, right?
Okay.
So if people think about houses, right? So you would say open space, family experiences, close to things that you can enjoy in your life outside of the home, right?
Okay.
Yard space, home
Mm,
office, and a place where everything comes together, right? Something like
mm-hmm.
that, right?
Okay.
What emotions do you want your marketing to involve, right? I would like you to invoke. Okay, I need you to use storytelling that connects the experiences a person can have in this home with the ideal buyer. All right, so let's see what it says. Step inside and feel it instantly. The natural light pouring through the wide windows, the sense of openness inviting you to create your own rhythm. This isn't just a house, it's the beginning of a lifestyle made for connection, growth, and joy. Imagine morning pancakes in a sunlit eat-in kitchen, kids laughing in the backyard while you sip coffee on the deck. From casual weekday dinners to weekend barbecues and birthday parties on the sprawling front and back lawns, this home was made to hold memories. The flexible floor plan offers 5 spacious bedrooms, including a tucked away back room that's perfect for a quiet home office or guest suite. Every space has intention, from the upgraded kitchen with modern appliances and quartz countertops to the updated bathrooms and newly installed systems throughout. And when it's time to step out, you're minutes away from everything that matters. Beltline trails, sporting venues, public parks, transit, dining, and shopping. It's a home where you work, play, and life flow effortlessly together. This is more than move-in ready. It's ready for your next chapter. All right, survey says good, bad, indifferent. Alessandri, what are you thinking? I can see your face. This is the fun part.
I like it.
I would remove the second paragraph, the morning pancakes. Let's talk about kids. I would remove just the second paragraph. That's all.
See, look, and now opinions are subjective, right? Like if you're buying I'm going to push back. If you're selling a 5-bedroom house, how many people that don't have kids are moving into a 5-bedroom house? And again,
Exactly.
you have to check with the fair housing, right? Like
Exactly. That's my thought.
you know, it's stupid that you can, so here you could say, based on real estate fair housing laws on marketing and advertising, is there anything in here that violates those laws? If yes, please point out and why. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Potential.
Yep. Now, this is pretty mind blowing that you can actually ask it to look for the violations.
Yeah. So there's just one, but it gave you the update, right? I actually think personally it's stupid that you can't do this, right? Like it's like these laws were made 100 years ago in a very different world.
Chirag, what was the prompt that you used, please, for the,
We'll give you all the prompts in the recap.
great, thank you.
So now that we have this description, right, we're going to want to tell it there are different types of marketing that we do, right? There is agent to agent marketing, which we market the home directly to agents, and then direct to consumer marketing, where we market the home to consumers. I need you to draft an email to agents and to consumers, provide one by one until I approve. Don't go to the next. See, the subject line sucks, right? Like just listed, nobody cares, right? Now this thing doesn't realize what to do. So again, it can be confused, right? I need you. Now I said to write a catchy thing and then use storytelling, right? One of Beecher Hill's best kept secrets just hit the market. Would you be interested in looking at that now? A lot more than just listed, right? Tucked behind a canopy of trees in the heart of Beecher Hills sits a home that surprises you the moment you walk in, where sunlit spills across the original hardwood floors and open space invites you to imagine life. Now, this has bullet points, right? I don't want, in this case, I want to use storytelling and not bullet points, right? So if you want to keep the bullet points, you keep the bullet points. If not, agents do well with bullet points, right? They're not going to read everything. But
I'd
this
like to point out that it always defaults to bullet points and emojis. Just as someone who uses chat a lot, I have to constantly tell it I don't want a bulleted list and I don't want emojis. Just
well,
throwing it out there.
actually, in your settings over here, right? Somewhere over here, in your
Mhm.
settings, you can go in there and put certain things like don't use M dashes, don't use emojis.
Oh.
So if there's certain things that you wanted to know about you, you can. There's also another area called projects where like if it's just literally writing property descriptions, right? In what you needed to know in the back end, you could say, always use the Apple product launch formula, use storytelling, no M dashes, don't use bullets, and all of those different things.
Good to know. Thank you.
Yep. So this is a different version, right? What would I put on what is a headline I can use on a just listed postcard that does not say just listed because no one cares? Rarely captures attention. So do you see how much better if you got a postcard that said this? And the fact that everyone else does really bad marketing, you kind of get how this all works. So here, hold on. I wonder if this can work here. All right, somebody click this chat here in the link and see if it brings you to the whole chat thread. Before they wouldn't let you send ones that have links, but I think it's since been updated. Kristen, it works? All right, so we'll put the chat thread in here.
Yep, it worked.
All right, so look, I'm going to record the deck, and obviously you'll still get the same presentation. We're not skipping over it, right? But I think this was really important for you guys to actually see and understand, right? Because if what I'm learning, and I'm getting more and more people asking us about AI training, if you don't show people in live demos, does it ever make sense to anybody? No, it makes zero sense, right? So here's the thing. We're doing more and more training around this, right? So we're working on, for the next quarter, a 3-part series. One on how to train your ChatGPT to sound like you. Number 2, everything you need to do about launching properties down to staging, virtually staging properties. And the third one's my favorite. How to create videos that look like you, that sound like you, and you never have to be on camera. It's incredible, right?
That's super scary. I don't like that at all.
It's like, look, I'm really happy that somebody said this. This is the world we live in and we're going to live in. right? There's only two types of people left there's going to be left in the world. Microsoft laid off 7,000 people. They cut $1.4 billion worth of salaries in a day because of AI. And some of the people there were like epic long-term employees, right? So what I'm going to leave you with is we're going to stay on top of this. Our Compass One project is hopefully nearing an end soon. So for the next quarter, we'll have our Compass One integration. We have lots of things made in Marketing Center for you. We have our AI stuff going, and we're going to make it a really productive summer, right? So don't check out during the summer, because the people that do an hour of work a week, I'm not asking you for endless hours. When the fall market comes and the end of the year comes and everything, that you're going to kick ass in the second half of the year, right? So, we say that Compass One is literally our life's work at this company. All the years we spent at Compass, all the technology, all the tool training, all of the hundreds of different assets and emails and everything. And it is truly the most remarkable thing in the world. And we're also realizing, as we're building all of these things in there, how much work you do, right? Because the amount of email templates and look, it's not easy. It's like I have to click one view for you, and then I have to make another task and then change all the words so it's a client-facing word, right? Because the way it is now is when you make it visible on the dashboard, what your client sees is the same thing you see, and we need a client-facing version with words that feel good about them. So look, I can't tell you how grateful I am for your partnership, the fact that you show up every day. You all are daily the fuel in my gas tank. And look, the more feedback you can give us and the more things you can share, the better it is for us. So stay on here for Martha's accountability session and keep practicing. And look, if you're not an accountability group, you are missing out on growing your business. Period, end of story. Block 1 hour a week for coaching. That's all that you need. If you went to a training session, an accountability session, and then chose to spend an extra hour in, it would make all the difference in the world. Laura, can you make her a co-host, please?
Thanks, Chirag.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Thank you for all. And that's the end of our ChatGPT presentation. I'll
Thank
record the
you.
deck for you and I'll upload it. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your session.
Bye, Chirag. That was exciting.